You know, there's so much history we never hear and never know, and it's done on purpose to keep us ignorant of the truth and easily mentally and emotionally manipulated by propaganda and misinformation. So I was watching a UFO show. I know there are a lot of them, and you can believe whatever you want about UFOs, and the truth is, no matter what you believe, it might actually be right. But I was struck on one of these shows with a piece of historical knowledge I was not familiar with. Have you ever heard of the Robertson Panel? I've heard of the Majestic 12 and Project Grudge, and of course Project Blue Book, but I certainly hadn't heard of the Robertson Panel. And I think the government would prefer we not know and not ask too many questions. The government, in typical propagandist misinformation fashion, would prefer we never know about the Robertson Panel. Which is ironic, because in 1953, the CIA, oh, you know the CIA, they assassinate people and start secret wars and create world chaos and misinformation that our corporate government can exploit. Well, in 1953, the CIA convened the Robertson Panel, a completely corrupted scientific panel tasked solely with dismissing the UFO phenomenon in its entirety. Their job was to look at the UFO phenomenon, and no matter what they would find or learn, keep it a secret and call it bullshit and recommend we stop even thinking about it. Their main agenda, their single-minded agenda, the only item on their agenda, was to eliminate public interest in this unexplainable phenomena that might be a threat or our space parents and might traverse both space and time. How did they do this? They invented tactics that we are so familiar with now. Ignore the evidence, ridicule the believers, dismiss any phenomena, and explain it away patronizingly, all under the phony cloak of science. These were paid hacks, double agents, but it didn't matter. And in those days, if scientists said it, it must be so. Now we know better. Of course, there are brilliant, heroic scientists with nothing but noble, altruistic aspirations. But we also know many scientists are bought off by special interests. And we know that these special interests are not working to make the world a better place or unlock the mysteries of the universe. No, many of our top scientists actually work for large corporations, the military, the government, as if there's any difference anymore, any dividing line between the government and private enterprise and the military. And these scientists are beholden to them. Why? Because there's not a lot of choice. Scientists are human and subject to the same pressure and weaknesses no matter what school they graduated from. Scientists have families and have to pay bills. And it's in those sectors that they will be paid the most money. And as a result, we can no longer let a group of elitist, corrupted scientists be the gatekeepers to truth. So why is this important? Is it a frivolous concern? Or is it a metaphor for everything that's wrong in the world today? The powerful lie, mislead, propagandize, condition, drug, hypnotize, ridicule, and marginalize us about something potentially earth-shattering, consciousness-shattering, of the greatest urgency and importance, information being withheld about the very future of the species, rather than tell us the truth. We know that they've kept the secret, just like every nefarious shadow operation the corporate government carries out through its covert agencies within agencies within agencies. And that means war and disease, poverty, imprisonment, assassination of our own leaders, even racial and gender hate. Everything we are subjected to and a part of has the agenda of enriching the ruling elite, who have nothing but contempt for mankind, and they feel empowered, entitled, expected to lie and cheat to get it. And here we are, questioning the truth, but not knowing it. The truth about everything. We can wonder and speculate all we want, but we will never truly know if they can help it. We certainly won't be told voluntarily, and you can be sure whatever information trickles out about anything is merely the tip of the iceberg, the truth iceberg, and possibly a lie, or at least distortion. And it's all legal because they make the laws, so they are following the laws they made. And until any of that changes, the end of the ruling elite, the changing of the laws, finding leaders who are honest and compassionate and not rich or beholden to the rich, leaders who are not mere toadies to the ruling class, nothing will change. We will never know the truth about the past, about the present, about the future. You know, the philosopher George Santayana famously said, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." But we cannot just remember the past. Today, we must acknowledge the present and conceive of the future, too, or we may never have a chance to repeat anything.